Hello friends, welcome back to the channel on another video. I'm Shakir. I do videos on sports, finance, reviews of books, movies, series and products. Today I'll be doing a video on how to avoid surcharge in rideshare apps. How many times you've gone out for a night or to a music festival or even a dinner, and when you want to get back home, you open the rideshare app and you see that the prices are twice or thrice the normal price. What do you do in those instances? How do you avoid the surcharge? Is there a way to avoid it? What are the tips and tricks to avoid the surcharge? We'll discuss all of that in here. After a New Year's Eve party, I personally have seen the surcharge to be at 7 times. But that was a few years back. But recently I did see the surcharge go till 3 times. Let's assume you head out of your house in the night to a party. You open the rideshare app, you book your ride, you get in the cab, get to your destination, pay a nominal fare, and everything goes smoothly till then. And then you want to get back home or you want to go to another party, you open the rideshare app and the price for your ride is 3 times the nominal fare. What do you do in this instance? To answer that question, first we will have to understand how the surge price works in these rideshare apps. According to Uber, the surge price is applied to level out the demand versus supply. So, if there is a high demand for rides in a particular area and there are not many drivers available in that area, a surge is placed in that area. So, let's look at this map. Let's assume there are 10 requests coming in this area A, but there are only 2 drivers available in this area. So when the 11th request comes in, because there are not enough drivers, a surge is placed on this request. The surge will continue to be applied until the level of requests become manageable in this area. FYI, the number of requests and number of drivers which I have used is just an arbitrary number, is just for an example. It's not the same exact number used in the rideshare apps. Now, let's consider area B. There are 5 rides available in this area, but there are 0 requests coming in. Obviously, there won't be any surge applied in this area and the fare will remain normal. Okay, now we've understood how the surge works. Let's see what are the different ways we can use to avoid the surcharge. Number 1, book your ride at the right time. Booking your ride at the right time is the most effective way you can avoid the surcharge. This can be done in 2 ways. Let's say you're attending an event which is attended by a few thousand people. If the event is scheduled to end at 10 p.m., you can get out of the event maybe at 9:40 or 9:45 and request for a ride then. This is an effective way to avoid surcharge. This works really well when you're attending a music festival or a concert. Alternatively, the other way to avoid surge is by waiting 15 to 20 minutes after the event is complete and then requesting a cab. This totally depends on the size of the event. If there are 10,000 people there, the wait might be longer. Second is changing the class of the ride. If there is a massive surge on UberX, you can actually try to book a Uber Comfort or an Uber XL as well. There might be less surge in Uber Comfort and Uber XL. That could be because most of the demand is going for UberX and there is not much demand for Uber Comfort or Uber XL. Sometimes the Uber XL might be a lot cheaper than UberX because the surge in the class is much lesser. This can be applied to any rideshare app including Ola and Didi. Number 3 is booking an Uber pool or an equivalent. If you are traveling alone and you see a surge in all the classes of Uber, then a better option is to book an Uber pool or an equivalent in the rideshare app which you're using. Since you won't be the only person traveling in that cab, it might take a little longer for you to reach your destination. But in most cases, it's always cheaper than UberX. One thing to keep in mind while booking an Uber pool is if your journey is in a popular route and someone else is also requesting an Uber pool in a similar direction, only then the cost of your Uber pool will be cheaper than UberX. But it has worked in most cases for me, so it's definitely a good option to try. Number 4 is requesting a ride in another rideshare app. Most of you would definitely have more than one rideshare app in their smartphone. So, when I'm booking a ride and if Uber has a surge, then I will open the Ola app to check if Ola has a surge as well. If Ola has surge, then I will open Didi app to check if there is a surge. Since I'm switching between 3 apps, 99% of the time I always get a ride in one of these apps without surge. This has been a very effective way to avoid surge in instances when I can't get out of an event earlier, maybe for a reason that I like the closing act of the event and I would like to stay till the end. Also, another effective way to book a ride from a rideshare app is using the same app from a different phone. This might not give you a huge difference in price, but surely you can get a cheaper one. For example, if I'm looking at a ride which is $25, I try to book the same ride in my wife's phone, and if the difference is more than $2, then I will try to book it from her phone as well. And depending on which ride is closer, we cancel the other ride. One thing to be careful about while using this technique is you have to remember to cancel the other ride. If you forget to cancel the ride, the driver ends up coming to that location and you're already in the cab and you ask him to cancel and you're slapped with a cancellation fee for that. Number 5 is take a normal cab. Another way to avoid surge is by hailing a cab from a taxi rank or a cab which is going in the direction which you have to go. It has happened to me after a New Year's Eve party at 2 a.m. I had checked the rideshare apps and all the apps had excessive surge. So I just hailed a cab and I reached home without even having to wait for a rideshare app cab to pick me up. I didn't save a lot of money, but I did save around $10. Number 6 is wait for 15 to 20 minutes for the surge to go away. Even though we've covered this a little bit in point number 1, I would like to reiterate this is another effective way to avoid surge. If you're waiting for 15 to 20 minutes and you keep checking the app for the price changes, the demand might slowly go down and eventually the surge might go down as well. For example, the surge might go down from 2x to 1.2x, and that price might be acceptable given the circumstances. If the surge hasn't gone away still, you might have to wait for another 10 minutes and give this a go. And in most cases, by then, the surge would have definitely gone down. Number 7 is walk away for 10 to 15 minutes so that the surge goes away. When you walk away for 10 to 15 minutes, the whole idea of this is trying to get to a different zone which doesn't have a surge. This can be effective if you're lucky enough to get into a zone which doesn't have a surge. But this is easier said than done because you wouldn't know in which direction you have to walk to get to a different zone, and you never know if even if you get to a different zone there might be surge in that zone as well. This might sound a little difficult, but it is more like a hit or miss strategy and it does work sometimes. Out of the 7 different techniques which I have mentioned here, the one I use effectively is booking the cab in the right time. That's my favorite. But in case if I'm not able to get out earlier, then the next technique I use is trying to book a ride in different rideshare apps. This technique works for me close to 100% of the time. But in the highly unlikely event of both this technique not working, I wait it out for 15 to 20 minutes for the surge to come down. Alright, those are the different techniques which I've got. It would be really encouraging for me if you can let me know your thoughts in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Please check out our food and travel blog. The link is in the description below. Also check out the links below for some freebies and rewards for some sites and services that I use. Alright, I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great week. Ciao.